our second week of Meet the Principal. So we're here today and we're so grateful to have you here, Mrs. Nargish Khambatta, the CEO and Principal of GEMS Modern Academy for over 30 years of experience as well in the educational field.
As I was coming in, I think some people greeted me and they said, you know, we've got a bunch of children in here along with journalists, but they said the children are always smarter, aren't they? And I couldn't agree more. Whichever grade you're in, don't think that you're not making an impact. Because you can and you should make an impact in whatever you're doing.
I'm going to ask you something fun. If you can tell us what your typical weekend is like.
My weekend, I do all the things that get, just like you, I pile up things to do over the weekend. So what I cannot finish through the week, I enjoy over the weekend, which means exercise, which I don't do through the week. I try to go to the beach as often as I can. I absolutely love that. And I try to read something stimulating over the weekend. So these are the three things that I enjoy doing, and I try to keep that consistent.
For what reasons did you work in this career?
There was a phase when I wanted to be a doctor, I remember. There was a phase when I wanted to be a policeman. But when I was in grade 9, I remember explaining Julius Caesar to one of my friends who was struggling to understand it. I was explaining to her and she said, you know, I understood it better from you than from the teacher. And I said, really? And then I started explaining biology and I started explaining chemistry and I said, I really enjoy this. And then I said, okay, so I became a teacher for a while and I got into teaching.
There are some cases when it happens that, you know, because the students and children start developing an individuality, right? And sometimes it is influenced by negative things. So how do you think parents and teacher collaboratively deal with that?
If you practice anger, you get really good at it. If you practice empathy, you get good at empathy. If they observe that you are disciplined, if they observe that you are eating right, if they observe that you are polite and you know, conscious of people around you and the way you're conducting yourself, they will imbibe it. So I think as adults, that's our responsibility to be role models.
If you want to change something in the education system, what would you change? And do you have any piece of advice for our young students?
One thing I'd like to change is too much of testing. I'd really like to change that. Advice, I think, students, you have the power, I always say that. And never, never, never think that you're too young to make a difference.